In our previous video, we have understand about microenvironment. Today, we will understand about macroenvironment. We know that business environment consists of two dimensions, micro as well as macro. Microenvironment has been explained to you in detail in the previous video. So today we are going to start with our macro environment. Macro environment is also known as general environment and indirect action environment. Macro environment is called general because it includes those factors, forces and institutions that are general in nature. General in nature means they affect all the business enterprises indirectly. They do not affect a specific or a single business enterprise. They affect all the business enterprises indirectly. Macro environment consists of economic factors, political factors, legal factors, technological factors, natural factors, global factors and social or cultural factors. So we will study them in detail one by one. Economic factors. Economic factors are those factors which are concerned with the production and distribution of wealth in a country. Economic policies of the government like fiscal policy, monetary policies, economic indices, rate of savings, rate of tax, etc. Economic factors, they have wide bearing on the decision making and performance of an enterprise. For example, if the rate of taxes will decrease, that is one of the economic factor. If rate of taxes will decrease, people will have more disposable income. And if they are having more disposable income, there will be increase in the demand of goods and services. So economic factors means the factors which are concerned with production and distribution of wealth and income of a country. Some examples of economic factors are economic policies like monetary policies, industrial policies, fiscal policies, economic indices, rate and pace of economic growth of a country. Means how speedily a country is having, how speedily a country is developing. So that also is an economic factor. Second macro factor is political environment. Political environment consists of the political parties. Like political party, suppose one political, we know that there is always a one party which is in ruling, whereas other parties in opposition. If some of the decisions which are taken by the ruling party are opposed by opposition party, or we can say that when there is change in the government, means the government is changed. So various the policies which were taken by previous party are not adopted or implemented by the policy by the party which is now in ruling. So political environment. Third is legal environment. There are always some laws which are governing a country. So legal environment consists of business laws, because every business enterprise has to follow these laws. We know that Companies Act of 1956, it was mostly amended in 2013. Various new laws, various new articles have been amended. So like BS4 norms, now it is BS6 emission norms. So various changes are there always in the laws which are concerning the business enterprise. Fourth macro factor is technological environment. The rate of or the advancement of science and technology of a country has also an important bearing in the working and performance of a business enterprise. Technological environment means that suppose there is one company or industry which is labor intensive. Labor intensive means they are using mostly laborers or men for production of their goods and services. And second company is capital intensive. It is using technology, machineries, automatic machineries for the production of goods and services. So these both companies companies or industries will have different working or performance criteria. They both will have different working hours, they both will have different wages for workers, etc. Natural environment consists of the topography of the particular area where the industry or business is established. We can say climatic conditions, the texture of the soil, fertility of the soil, all climatic conditions, texture, fertility of the soil, geographical conditions of that particular area. Like we know that the Arab countries, they are having favorable natural factors, therefore they are able to produce good amount of oil, and India is not able to produce oil, but India is having favorable conditions to produce tea. So natural environment is also influencing the working pattern or the production pattern of. Another external factor is global environment. Global environment consists of those forces and factors that are operating in other sovereign countries. We know that in 1991, our whole industrial and economic system was revolutionized because of LPG policy. That is liberalization, privatization and globalization, in which various multinational companies were allowed to operate in India. They were allowed to do their business in India. Therefore, these multinational companies, they have to acquaint themselves well with the language and culture of India. And they did so well that most of the Indian companies were dumped. So, global environment means that the laws of other countries in which a business wants to operate or carry out its business operations, or the culture of that country in which business wants to operate or carry out its operations. The last external factor is social or cultural factor. Social or cultural factor influences and affect the performance of every business organization. Social and cultural factors consist of demographic trends, income of the people, gender ratio, how aware they are about their rights, their working ethics, etc. Social and cultural factors means that what is the lifestyle of the people, what goods they are demanding according to their culture. So all these have an important bearing on the company. So macro environment consists of economic factors, political factors, legal factors, technological factors, natural factors, global factors, and at last social factors. After understanding the microenvironment and macroenvironment, we will understand about SWOT analysis. SWOT, that is S-W-O-T. SWOT is an acronym for, that is S stands for strength, W stands for weakness, O stands for opportunities, and T stands for threats. In short, strength and weaknesses can be identified after analyzing the internal environment. Please note that strength and weaknesses can be identified after analyzing the internal environment. Analyzing and monitoring internal environment is also known as corporate appraisal. Whereas opportunities and threats can be identified after analyzing the external environment. Identifying the external environment is also known as environmental scanning. This SWOT can be modified into TOWs. T for threats, O for opportunities, W for weakness, and S for strength. Now we will understand that what is the meaning of strength, weakness, opportunities and threats. Strength, it is an inherent capability which helps a firm to gain strategic or competitive advantage over its competitors. I repeat, strength means inherent capability of a firm which help it to gain strategic advantage or competitive advantage over its competitors. Strengths can be high quality manpower, or we can say determined manpower or human resources, good distribution network, penetration in global market or rural areas. Weakness. Weakness means inherent constraint or limitation by which a firm can lose its strategic advantage or which can create strategic disadvantage for a firm over its competition. Weaknesses can be obsolete technology or not so determined human resources or workers. Oh, that is opportunity. Opportunity means any favorable condition which lies in the external environment and which can help a firm to strengthen its position in the market. I repeat, opportunity means a favorable condition which lies in the external environment of a company and which can help a firm to strengthen its position in the market. Opportunities can be reduction in the taxes, or we can say that good industrial policies or favorable industrial policies or government policies. Last is threat. Threat means any unfavorable condition that lies in the external environment and that may reduce the position of a company in the market. That may reduce the position of the company in the market. Threats can be entry of multinational corporations or entry of direct or indirect competitors. So, SWOT analysis is very important for every company. I hope that you have understand this, and now I am going to give you a small assignment that you all have to do. You have to draw charts or you can make notes of SWOT analysis of different companies, so that you will be able to know that what are the strength, weakness, opportunities, threats of a particular company and what are the strength, weakness, opportunity, threats of another companies.